Hello, everybody. Father Jim here. Hope you're doing well. And yes, it is Friday. It is the 10th day of May as we continue to move through the sixth week of the Easter season. And today I'm just going to be reading from our first reading from our liturgy. Again, of course, it comes from the Acts of the Apostles, chapter 18, beginning of verse 9. One night, while Paul was in Corinth, the Lord said to him in a vision, "Do not be afraid. Go on speaking, and do not be silent, for I am with you. No one will attack and harm you, for I have many people in this city." He settled there for a year and a half, and taught the word of God among them. But when Gallio was proconsul of Achaia, the Jews rose up together against Paul, and brought him to the tribunal, saying, "This man is inducing people to worship God contrary to the law." When Paul was about to reply, Gallio spoke to the Jews. "If it were a matter of some crime or malicious fraud, I should with reason hear the complaint of you Jews. But since it is a question of arguments over doctrine and titles and your own law, see to it yourselves. I do not wish to be a judge of such matters." And he drove them away from the tribunal. They all seized Sosthenes, the synagogue official, and beat him in full view of the tribunal. But none of this was of concern to Gallio. Paul remained for quite some time, and after saying farewell to the brothers, he sailed for Syria, together with Priscilla and Aquila. At Cenchreae, he had shaved his head because he had taken a vow. The word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. Well, at some point in our lives, we can expect to endure sorrow and face challenges. Yet, as disciples of Jesus, we know that we are not facing these difficulties alone, and that sometimes God's loving presence can be experienced in surprising ways. The reading I just read to you reminds us that the unfailing love and support of God is always there. Paul is instructed not to be afraid to speak out in Corinth because of God's many people in that city. Ironically, one of those people is Gallio, a Roman official who refuses to put Paul on trial for a religious conflict. Paul is set free to continue his ministry to the Corinthians. As we've been reading in the Acts of the Apostles throughout this whole Easter season, the early disciples went about the mission of spreading the gospel with great joy, in spite of the many hardships they faced, because of their assurance of Jesus' presence among them. Just as we have inherited the mission of those early disciples, so do we enjoy God's presence and strength also in our daily lives. Few of us will suffer or face the dangers that St. Paul did, but we can be assured that God is with us in those daily challenges that we face, sometimes through the help and compassion of family members, friends, colleagues, even sometimes strangers. So, my friends, let's continue the mission of spreading that good news, the gospel, knowing that Jesus will be with us through every challenge. Very comforting words. And of course, it takes faith to really believe those words. But if we continue to live that faith, we'll see it all comes true. So let's continue to grow in that faith and trusting in the Lord. Keep praying to Him every day. Keep that connection going. Hope your day is going well on this Friday as we approach the weekend. Let's keep praying for one another. God bless you and take care.